Check it on out. Right, shalom, shalom. Another lesson. Give me a minute. Nope, it didn't pop up yet. All right, we're gonna give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh by Shema Bashar. Jump on to the Apostle Brother Elder Way Millstone. Show on to the hope for the elect. Another lesson. You see the title for many great miseries should be done to them. So we're gonna get right to
when I shall send upon them the evil arrows of famine, which shall be for their destruction, and which I will send to destroy you. And I will increase the famine upon you, and will break your staff of bread.
Famine.
Famine.
Famine. Famine. Famine is at the door.
The situation here is heartbreaking.
And risks escalating into a catastrophe.
And today we are receiving a final warning.
A famine? Senator, I have not heard the word famine in years.
We do see that we have an impending famine, and I've heard from David Beasley at the World Food Bank that he's now going to have to take from the hungry to feed the starving.
With regard to food shortage, yes, we did talk about food shortages, and it's going to be real.
There are big concerns right now about the nation's winter wheat crop, with extremely dry soils persisting in the southern plains. For example, in Kansas, 50% of the crop right now is rated poor to very poor.
Wow. We live in really perilous times.
We are entering that zone of danger where lack of food can be used to manipulate the people.
I would not be surprised if by 2025, if 1 billion people aren't dead. I mean, we're really heading into the most epic
famines that have ever happened in human history.
Central of the United States, the winter wheat has been devastated. And we're not even talking about this yet. We're still waiting for the damage of this Omega block, which has caused a lot of cold weather to hang around across a lot of the corn-producing states from Illinois on east, all the way to Ohio and Pennsylvania. We've had a lot of cold weather, which is probably going to affect the corn crop because it damages the germination at the beginning stage there. All right, so things are not looking wonderful in the United States.
Pretty soon, your food supply is going to be limited, and I've told you this, and now we have more proof. Your food supply is going to be limited to what food is already in your home. We have covered it, but we've got another element to add to this, a major element, written to me by a farmer connected to the data, very successful farmer, someone who knows exactly what he's talking about, and he cites professional data. I'm going to read verbatim to this report that was prepared for me by people who know. And I'll just go verbatim. Winter wheat conditions as of April 25th. Texas, 55% poor to very poor. Oklahoma, 63% poor to very poor. Kansas, 62% poor to very poor. Nebraska, 45% poor to very poor. Drought conditions continue from central Texas north through the high plains into Wyoming, Nebraska, and the Dakotas. Wheat harvest would normally begin in June in Texas, Oklahoma, and Kansas. Most notably, acres will be released by federal crop insurance soon. Whatever might be left will be grazed paid, or simply destroyed, would have to assume at least a minimum of a 30% reduction in winter wheat production. It's a lot worse than the 18,000 cows that got blown up. I'm not sure how this compares to the 111 food processing plants that have been burned, blown up, natural causes, whatever you want to say it is. There hasn't been one federal investigation on this issue. Is this as bad as that? I think it might even be worse, because now you're looking at the carryover effect into the next growing season. We're in big trouble.
How much she hath glorified herself.
Alright, let's go to 2 Ezra 8, verse 50. It said, for many great misery should be done to them that in the latter time should dwell in the world, because they have walked in great pride. Right, walk in great pride, verse 51. But understand that for themselves seek out the glory for sure as be like thee. For unto you is the parable open. The tree of life is planted, the time to come is prepared, plenty is made ready, a city is built, and rest is allowed, yet perfect goodness and wisdom. The root of evil is sealed up from you, weakness and the maw of his hiding from you, and corruption is filled into hell to be forgotten. Sorrow are past, and the end is showing the treasure of immortality. I can't even say the word right, immortality. Verse 55. And therefore, as you that no more, and therefore, as that no more questions conceal multitudes of them that perish. For when they are taken in liberty, they despise Most High, thought the scarden of his law, and forsake his ways. Verse 57, moreover, they had trimmed down his righteousness, and said in their heart, there is no God, but yet they know that they must die. For as things enforcing shall receive you, so thirst and pain are prepared for them. For it was not his will that man should come to naught. Verse 60, but them which are corrected have defiled the name of him that made them, and were unthankful unto him, prepared life for them. Verse 61, and therefore in my judge now at hand. They can't say Ezra 8, verse 61. It said, and therefore is my judgment now at hand. Those things I have not shown unto all men, but unto thee, and for like thee the answer I said, behold, O Lord, now thou hast thou show me thy multitude of thy wonders, which thou hast begun to do in the latter time, but at what time thou hast not shown me. 2 Ezra 9, verse 1. As he answered me then and said, measure time diligently in itself, and when the sea pass of thy sign pass, which I told thee before, thou shalt understand that at the very same time within the highest begin to visit the world which he made. Right, begin to visit the world which he made. Therefore, when they shall be seeing earthquakes and upwards of the people in the world, they shall well understand that the Most High spoken of those things from the day that was before thee, even from the beginning. For like it's all made in the world had a beginning and an end, and the end is manifest. Verse 7, and everyone that should be saved should be able to escape by his work and by faith, whereby you have believed. Verse 9. 2 Ezra 9, verse 9, they should be in pitiful case, which they had bruised my ways. They had cast away the spiteful should dwell in turmoil. For sure, as in their life have received benefit, and have not known me. They had loosed my law, while they had yet liberty, and when as yet place of princes was open unto them, understood not, but despised it. Right, despised it. The same as Noah after death by pain. Verse 13, and therefore be not curious how the ungodly should be punished. Read again, 2 Ezra 9, verse 13. And therefore be thou not curious and how the ungodly should be punished, And when but acquire how the righteous should be saved, what the world is, and for what the world is created. Then he answered and said, I have said before, and now do speak, and I will speak it also hereafter, that there be many more them which perish, them which shall be saved. Right, shall be saved. Exodus 9, verse 15, verse 5. Behold, that the Lord already plays upon the world, the sword, famine, death, and destruction. For the wicked have exercised them. For the wicked, for the wicked in city pollute the whole earth, and the hurtful works are fulfilled. Right, fulfilled. Verse 7, therefore said the Lord, I will hold my tongue no more touching their wickedness, which they had profaned, committed, that I will suffer them in those things in which the wicked had exercised themselves. Behold, the innocent and the righteous blood cry unto me, and the soul of the just complain continually. 2 Ezra 15, verse 11, and I will bring them with a mighty hand and stretch out arms, and smite Egypt with plagues, and before, and I will restore all the lands thereof. It should be mourned, and the foundation of it should be smite with the plague, and punish the Most High shall bring upon it. 2 Ezra 15, verse 14, it say, woe unto the world that dwell in them. Right? It say, woe unto the world that may dwell in them. Verse 15, for the sword and destruction draw not. The one people shall stand up and fight against another, and the sword in their hands. Right, sword in their hands. Verse 16, they should be sedition among men, evade one another. They should not regard their kings nor their princes. In the course of their actions should stand in their power. A man should desire to go into the city and should not be able. For because of the proud, the city should be troubled, the houses should be destroyed, and man should be afraid. A man should have no pity upon his neighbor, but should destroy their houses with the sword, and spoil their goods because of lack of bread and a great tribulation. Right? Great tribulation. Says 16, verse 15. Okay, yes. 16, verse 14. Behold, the plague are sent, and should not return against unto thy come upon the earth. Hold on, right again. 16, verse 14. Behold, the plagues are sent, and should not return again until they come upon the earth. The fire is kindled, and should not be put out, to consume the foundation of the earth. Verse 17, it say, woe is me, who delivered me in those days. Verse 18, the beginning of sorrow and great mourning, the beginning of famine and great death, the beginning of wars, and the power should stand in their fear. The beginning of evil, what shall I do with those evil shall come? Behold, famine and plague, tribulation, and anguish are sent as scorners for a minute. For all that things should not turn from their wickedness, nor be aware, mindful of their scorners. Verse 22, for many of them that dwell upon the earth should perish of famine, and the other that escape hunger should destroy it. And hunger should the sword destroy it. Right. Got those messing up. Let's go to Jeremiah chapter 6, verse 10. Okay, Jeremiah 6, verse 10. To whom shall I speak and give warning that they may hear? Behold, the ears are uncircumcised, and they cannot hearken. Behold, the word unto them, the Lord is unto them a reproach. They have no delight in it. Right? They have no delight in it. No delight in it. To whom should I read again? Jeremiah chapter 6, verse 10. To whom should I speak and give warning? That they may hear. Behold, the ears are uncircumcised, and they cannot hearken. Behold, the word of the Lord is unto them a reproof. They have no delight in it. Lamentations 4, verse 8. I don't know this. Yeah, Lamentations 4, verse 9. They have been slain with the sword are better than they be slain with hunger, for the pain of waste sickness through for what of the fruit of the field. Right, it says Lamentations 4, verse 9, that they be slain with the sword are better than they be slain with hunger, for the pain of waste sickness through for what of the fruit of the field. Man. Ezekiel chapter 7, verse 13, no, verse 12. The time is coming, the day draw near, let not that by rejoice, nor the sale mourn, for the wrath upon all multitudes thereof. Ezekiel chapter 7, verse 14, it says, they have blown a trumpet even to make all ready, but none go to the battle, for my wrath is upon all the multitudes thereof. Verse 15, the sword is without, and the pestilence in the famine within. He that is in the field should die with the sword, and he that in the city, famine and pestilence should devour him. Right? He said, famine and pestilence should devour him. But the escape of them should be on the mountain, looked up, in the valley all of them mourn, everyone for his iniquity. All hands should be faint, and all knees should be weak as water. Man. Weak as water. All right, get a couple more. Get a couple. Let's get Mark chapter 1. No, I think I want this. Let's see, I'm trying to get what I'm trying to get. Okay, we're gonna get this. Yeah. 2 Timothy 3. This know also in the last days, perilous times shall come. Right in the last days, perilous times shall come. We're gonna go watch a little bit of it. Yeah, just watch a little bit of it.
Catastrophe.
And today we are receiving a final warning.
A famine? Senator, I have not heard the word famine.
Farmers in Kansas are abandoning their entire crop. There was one farmer that was mentioned in a news article, 4,000 acres had to be abandoned completely. Other areas, some of the wheat came up, but they're going to have to cut it for feed for animals because it's not good enough for human consumption. It's not good enough for harvesting. And so what we're seeing is across the central of the United States, the winter wheat has been devastated. And we're not even talking about this yet. We're still waiting for the damage of this Omega block, which has caused a lot of cold weather to hang around across a lot of the corn-producing states from Illinois on east, all the way to Ohio and Pennsylvania. We've had a lot of cold weather, which is probably going to affect the corn crop because it damages the germination at the beginning stage there. All right, so things are not looking wonderful in the United States.
Pretty soon, your food supply is going to be limited, and I've told you this, and now we have more proof. Your food supply is going to be limited to what food is already in your home. We have covered it, but we've got another element to add to this, a major element, written to me by a farmer connected to the data, very successful farmer, someone who knows exactly what he's talking about, and he cites professional data. I'm going to read verbatim to this report that was prepared for me by people who know. And I'll just go over harvest would normally begin.
That's it right there. We'll close it out. So we're going to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh by Shema Rashah, double honor to the apostle, brother, elder, great millstone. Shalom to the hope leg, I want to Shalom to the hope leg. 2 Timothy chapter 3, verse 1. This note also, in the last day, perilous time shall come, right? Perilous time shall come. Shalom.